Hey there, it's Spilling with Lee. Thank you so much for joining me on as we recap the latest episode of The Real Housewives of Atlanta. What did y'all think of this week's episode? I actually, it's so interesting because I do not, gotta get my shit together. I do not consider myself a Phaedra fan, but I am actually looking forward to her coming because to me, the episodes are a little dry right now. So, what do y'all think? Let me know in the chat. Like, if you had to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being amazing and 1 back to the drawing board, what would you rate it? So, let me know. All right, so let's recap and talk about what we're doing. And if I have not mentioned, please subscribe, comment, share, all the things, like the video. Let me know how I'm doing, and I'll keep it up, hopefully, or improve. Let me know. All right, so recap: Real Housewives of Atlanta. So it starts off with everyone focusing on what Porsha said in Nashville. So you see various conversations going around. But the most interesting one was Porsha saying that she did not remember saying this. So Cynthia missed out on all of the happenings. She went to bed early. So she's catching up, and we're catching up on all the conversations. What's interesting about Porsha's take on she did not remember saying anything was when homegirl said that she would never sleep with someone's husband. Porsha, do you not realize like what we've been watching for the past few years? You surely did. And honestly, it's probably not the first time, no judgment, allegedly, but I'm just like, that was probably, they probably should have edited that out, because that was, there were a couple of things in this episode that Porsha said that I'm like, do you hear yourself? Like, girl, that should have been edited out. So we know Simon. So she says she would never sleep with someone's husband. So we see Porsha, honestly, throughout this episode, skating around, denying what she said, which was so disappointing. I would rather her just own it and say, I shouldn't have said it. I did say it. I was being super petty. Let's make this up. But as I'll recap, that's not what happened. And so it just makes me like, I've kind of always liked Porsha, but I'm kind of having a season of like not liking her. So I hate that. But anyway, so then we go to a dog party that Kelly is hosting. And so different people come with their dogs, and we see Kelly's little dog all dyed, and I know she was likely joking when she talked about the dog has eyelashes and all these other things. I am just like, I feel like it's somewhat animal cruelty. It's a dog. Like, a dog does not want or need all of that. And just to see that dog died like that, I know people die their dogs, but there's something unsettling about that whole dog thing. I just like, have the people not come after her yet? Because I swear it feels like dog cruelty or something. So anyway, we see Kelly at her dog party. She's talking to Britt. Britt has her dog, and I think it's Mimosa. And they're all chatting and catching up and looking forward to the Bailey Q. Okay, out at Lake Bailey, hosted by the great Cynthia Bailey. We also have a scene of Britt and her family. So Britt's mother is moving in with Britt and Michael. And I don't know if it's been explained, but you don't understand why. Why is Britt's mother moving in? And from what I recall, Britt and Michael live in a townhouse or condo. And not that there's anything wrong with that, but and there could be plenty of room. If for all I know, this condo is bigger than my house. But it just is kind of just like, why? Because you are hoping to have a baby and you think you're going to need some help. I just don't understand what the purpose of the mother moving in is. So that part of the story is unclear to me, unless I've missed it. If I did, leave it in the comments below because I just don't recall. So Britt's mom is moving in, and so they're talking about that, and they have a scene with Britt and her family. And honestly, where I had previously said there's no way Britt is coming back for another season. When I see her with her family, I could see Bravo possibly bringing Britt in for another season because there's something strange going on with the family. And strange meaning we all have dysfunction in our family somewhere, but this is on display. And so I can see people wanting to know more of their story and that developing and that keeping her in for another season. I don't know, because Britt is just, from what I'm reading online and how I feel, Britt is just really, the way her edit is being done is making her very unlikable. So I just cannot see her coming back for another season. But anyway, so we see the dynamics of Britt and her sisters, her mother, the grandmother, and it's a lot of dysfunction there, a lot of hurt over her father's death, a lot of miscommunication. So it's honestly, now it brings more light into Britt's strong reaction to Kenya, because I think that Britt just probably has not seen girl relationships modeled well in her life. And so, and there's just something missing with Britt. There's some nurturing, something has gone awry. And I think it was all coming out on Kenya for some reason. So it was actually a little bit of an uncomfortable episode or segment for me, because I feel like there's really some deep hurt there. And I hate to see that played out on reality TV. It's kind of the same way with one of the reasons I kind of have pulled back from watching Real Housewives of New Jersey, because the whole dynamic with Teresa Giudice and her brother Joe. What's Joe's last name? Their her maiden name. I don't like seeing that brother-sister relationship just crumble in front of us all over reality TV. And there could have been something deeper, obviously, there that was already brewing, but just to put that on display, I really feel uncomfortable with it. So I was feeling a little bit of that with Britt and her family and that whole segment. So let's see. Getting ready for, everybody's still talking about that Bailey barbecue, but it's going to be on Juneteenth. So we'll get to that in just a second. Porsha. I just want to like Porsha more this season. I'm just not. So Porsha is at her mother's home, and also her home. I guess she gave it to her mom when she married Simon. But she gets Pilar a dog. And this is what I think. I think Porsha knew that she did not have a storyline. I think she put it in Chat GPT. ideas for a storyline on a reality TV show. And it gave her a list. And she is trying to go down the list to see what sticks. We see, if you recall, I think it was episode 2, she was meeting with her team to discuss her sheets and her plan to grow her empire. We never heard anything more about that. She's been trying to jump on this Drew Dennis storyline. People are over it and sick of that. I think she was hoping Kenya was going to be a storyline in that developing friendship. Kenya left. Now we see this dog. There's been a couple other things where I think she's trying to she needs a story, right? And so then also they're talking about getting an au pair for Pilar. Pilar is a teenager. No, she's not a teenager. She's surely in kindergarten by now. And I'm like, she's at school half of the day. Like, what do you need an au pair for? I thought au pairs were, I guess that's wrong because, au pairs can pick up kids from school, get them to their ballet lessons, help with dinner, help with homework, do all the things, basically be a mother. No shade. But I'm just thinking you have one child who is of age, a nice age. You have a mother, you have a whole team of people, you have a sister. And you don't even know what your financial status is. So why are you doing an au pair? You know why? Because she needs a storyline. She ain't getting no au pair. This is just something to talk about. And again, on the Chat GPT list of things to have a storyline for on a reality TV series. So I'm so over her. So Dennis and Drew, she talks about that with Dennis. They have a confessional together. The whole relationship with Dennis, for me, is so triggering because it makes the average woman, and first of all, I'm married, happily married, so I don't have that issue, but it would make a woman not want to date anybody who has a child with someone, because if this is the model of what it's supposed to be like, where the baby mama gets rights over everybody, they have this relationship, they come and go in each other's houses, they ask permission to see other people, do other things, like it's so inappropriate. And why Dennis is allowing it, I guess maybe for screen time or just as a favor to Porsha. I'm like, Dennis, do you not remember this is the same woman who tried to jump your mama? Like, y'all share a child together and I would be respectful, but all up in her house, people forgive and move on, but if you have it in you to fight an older woman and the mother of your boyfriend, basically, or fiance, former fiance, the grandmother to your child, like that is like the height of like inappropriateness. That doesn't just come out of anywhere. That is who you are, right? So the fact that they just have this dynamic, and there is a dynamic there, I will admit there's a nice energy there, but it just feels very inappropriate. So anyway, Porsha also talks to her mother and her sister about the whole Angela of it all and what happened in Nashville. Porsha keeps calling Angela out of her name and calling her names, which I hate. I think that is inappropriate as well, because Angela has not done anything to you, really. And then she skips through and skips around her comment about sleeping with Charles. Does not own up to that, does not really say too much about it. I'm sure her mom, somebody knows about it or got wind of it. And I am hoping, even if it's not done on camera, that her mother says, we're not doing that. But you know why her mother probably will not say that, allegedly, is because from what I recall, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, Porsha's mother was the other woman. So Porsha and her sister don't have the same mom. They have the same dad, but I believe Porsha's mom was cheating with her dad, and the dad was married to, what's her sister's name? Oh, I forget it. I like her, and it just completely left me. But anyway, so it kind of is like, that's what they do. So I'm just saying. So we see the dog and everything. Then we also see a scene, and I may be getting my scenes mixed up because I was taking notes and jumping around a little bit. So Shamea, there's a scene with Shamea meeting her new surrogate. So the former surrogate, if you recall, who ended up with breast cancer, and cannot be a surrogate again. But they still have an amazing relationship because apparently, I think her name is Shadina, would not have found out about her breast cancer at the early stage had she not been in this process with Shamea's baby, Shiloh. So they have an amazing relationship. And so she introduces and helps her connect with a new surrogate, Asha, who seems very lovely, but I'm just like, girl, you are on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You couldn't come a little bit cuter than that? I mean, she's a pretty girl, but I'm like, did you not know that cameras were going to be here? I think that all the time when I see people on, I don't care if it's, like being interviewed by the news or something, like, this could be your moment. Like, come, I'm not saying go buy a designer outfit or something, but yeah, like I'm gonna represent. So anyway, no shade. So let's see. Oh, so the au pair. This was funny. Dennis, I forgot about this. Dennis and Porsha meet the au pair. I think she's from West Africa. She's of that descent. Very beautiful woman. She talks and shares, and they're interviewing her. Fake storyline. I do not believe this for 1 minute. But when it was time to end, Dennis says, adios. And I'm like, why are you speaking Spanish to this African woman? I just thought that was hilarious. Anyway, the Bailey Q. So poor Cynthia, whom I love, but Cynthia, you invited a prophet. What does that even mean? You invited a prophet to the Bailey Q. So I am a Christian. So a prophet to me is God sent to give you a word. What this woman was doing was, in my opinion, and y'all can disagree with me, was slightly witchcraft-ish, feeling energy and then trying to tell you about yourself. And I know that kind of stuff happens all the time, but it's not called a prophet. Like, get your terms. Call yourself a witch, call yourself an energy healing something, but not a prophet. So, or psychic, like something other than a prophet. You are not a prophet. So that was that. So she was there and she's introducing herself to people. People are meeting her and she's giving energy and telling them about themselves and that kind of thing. So they're going around doing that and everybody's having an aha moment. Angela's there. I love Angela. But when I tell you, every scene, you will at least for 5 seconds see Angela fanning herself with something. And I get it because I am in my 50s. I'm menopausal. I know one thing. Angela is older than 44. By the way, shout out to Angela because I believe her birthday is either today or was yesterday. So shout out, girl. But either way, Angela, you are a beautiful woman. Just come out with your real age, because it's not 44 or 43. And it's not even because you look old, but your energy, the way you carry yourself is a mature woman. Like, and not even that 40 something is not mature, but it's, you carry yourself with a different type of energy. And I just find it hard to believe that you're 43 or 44, but you're a beautiful woman. So anyway, Angela's fanning herself during the barbecue. And then, you know, everybody is also looking wonderful. I think Kelly always looks good. I love me some Kelly. I just think she's gorgeous, all the things. Everybody's looking good. Cynthia had told everyone to come in one of the Juneteenth colors. Everybody's coming in different colors, and a lot of people were wearing black and all of that. So then Shamea comes, and Shamea is wearing, I was so embarrassed. Embarrassed not because she's wearing African attire. I love my ancestry. It's just that she always looks, I was telling my sister this, she always looks so costumish. She always looks like she has on a costume, even when she's wearing her designer stuff. Girl, like, most people know, and I'm shocked that your stylist does not know this, you don't need to wear, you should not wear, first of all, mixing designers, and then you're wearing designer stuff from head to toe, which makes it look like a costume. That's not fashion. That's not style. Like, wearing labels everywhere is not stylish. This particular was not the case. This particular scene was not the case. She just had on a dashiki and black and a hat. I'm just like, oh, yeah. So she did not look good at all. I just wanted to pull her. And then she said something that I did not agree with. Speaking of which, I need to go back to this. I'm sorry, I'm jumping all around today. So the prophet said something about Angela. Oh, she said something about a Porsche. Does somebody have a Porsche? Does somebody have a Porsche? Angela said, oh, my husband wants a Porsche. Shamea makes a joke about, are you sure? I'm going to be petty. Are you sure it's not a Porsche? Girl, you are a whole wife. A whole wife. You should not be joking about somebody else's husband wanting anybody. That's why Angela read you behind in that text message, which was earlier in the show. I did not mention that. Shamea was just so like, I just don't know why Angela's so mad at me. Because of Nashville? And she was reading this long text message that Angela sent her, apparently, and she still is just like, I just don't know. Because you are a whole wife, and you are sitting there letting another woman disparage a marriage, cause friction in a marriage, talk about sleeping with somebody's husband. As a wife, I'm not saying fight the battle, but you don't let somebody disrespect the whole entity and sanctity of marriage like that. So inappropriate. But then I started thinking that when Porsha initially made her moves on Simon and eased her way up into that woman's house and marriage, she was friends with Shamea. And Shamea had to have known that it was going down. Now, Shamea could have said something to her like, girl, no. I don't know. But what I do know is you could tell a lot about a person by the company that they keep. And so it's making me kind of side-eye Shamea a little bit like, oh, wait, girl, hold up. So yeah, the whole way that Shamea handled this situation with Angela, I thought was extremely inappropriate. And I just really was not feeling it. All right. So Juneteenth, Cynthia does like a little, quiz for Juneteenth. And it was really cute. I think I'm going to do something like that. And Porsha, she's calling out wrong stuff, which, for those of you who don't know, she is the granddaughter of a great civil rights leader. And the fact that she just knows nothing is just mind-boggling. And so they went back to the scene, I think season 1 or 2, where she thought the Underground Railroad was really a railroad. And yeah, so that had already set the tone for her not being that bright. So they flipped back to that, which was really funny. And then she got something wrong on the Juneteenth quiz. And she's like, girl, I've never been so wrong and loud. And we're like, yes, you have. Yes, you have. Underground Railroad. Don't forget. Yes, you have. So anyway, then we see Cynthia pull them together, Angela and Porsha, into a different room for them to get together and actually talk and work out their differences. Hated this conversation because Porsha took no ownership, and I just wish Angela would have drugged her ass and just really just gave her the business. And she kind of let her off the hook a little bit. She said a few things, but girl, she would not have gotten off that easily. She made light of it. She joked. You owe me an apology too. No, she don't. For what? She didn't talk about your husband unless it wasn't aired. But you are talking about somebody who has been married for 10 plus years, and her husband, you've been married for a hot minute, stole him from somebody. So if she said something, so what? You knew you weren't going to stay with him anyway. So whatever. All right. And then Cynthia brings Shamea in to sit down with Angela as well. Again, Shamea, your points are going way down. Way down for me, because you made light of what Angela was trying to say. You did not own any of it. And then you tried to make reference. You're like, oh, I just like to laugh. I laughed at my uncle's funeral because they had him dressed like a preacher and he never stepped foot in that church. First of all, number one, we don't need it. We did not need to know that. Number two different situations. And 3, you just do too much. You do too much all the time. She just is cringy. And I hate it because I really started off loving her. Do you ever have a friend where you think you guys are going to be cool, best friends, and then she starts saying stuff and you're like, this ain't going to work. That's the feeling I'm having. All right. So then Angela calls out Shamea. Oh, we already talked about that. And I commented again about how Shamea just looks a hot mess. So I believe that covered the primary things that happened in that episode. If I forget something, just go to my TikTok channel and I'm going to update something I may have forgotten, or on my shorts in YouTube. So make sure you like this video, subscribe, follow, like, notifications, all of the things. And let me know what you thought of this episode. What do you all think of Shamea? Am I just off base? Are y'all excited about Phaedra coming? Do we need some Phaedra? I think we do. I think we need something to spice this up because this is getting a little stale. Like, nobody is a standout. There's nobody I'm looking forward to seeing every week. Maybe Angela. Angela's my favorite so far. But anyway, thank you so much. I will see you in the next episode. Talk to y'all then.